I hope that everybody is thriving. I hope that everybody is having a decent week. I pray that everybody is moving forward, not in fear, but in power and love, in a sound mind. Man, we got some stuff we gonna talk about tonight. We gonna let Spirit lead. Glory to the Most High. And we gonna jump in, man, but appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy and allowing, your soul to be fed. I appreciate those that subscribe to the channel, that like the content, and most importantly, that share it so we can push it in the algorithm so that not only you, but other people who need to hear this are able to hear it. Appreciate y'all so much. Appreciate y'all so much. So we're going to jump right in. And Spirit brought to me the word negotiate. And the word negotiate, I found, and it says to talk with others to reach a deal or solve a problem, to successfully travel over or past a difficult physical obstacle, or to legally transfer a financial document like a check to someone else. I'm just putting it out there right now, man. The money is coming. The check is coming. Ashe, I believe it. Ashe, I believe it. We receive it. We not only put that in the atmosphere, but we accept what is. It says in Romans 8, it says somewhere in there, we are more than conquerors and we have overwhelming victory. The victory is already won. You know what I mean? So whatever you're expecting, whatever you've been waiting for, if you've been doing the work, you faced those dark nights of the soul, you faced and did your shadow work, you faced and went up against with those that have passed on and are no longer here before you, weren't able to fight, and you stood tall and you're standing tall. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. And that's not me speaking, that's the Most High. It's coming, man. But the thing about negotiate is I got two things. So you can't negotiate with your past. We gonna get straight fucking to it, man. And if my cursing offends anybody, forgive me, but I'm not sorry, because this is just what and how I'm relaying this. And this is me, and I'm not afraid to be me. I'm not negotiating with anything. This is authentically me. So take the meat and leave the bones. But it's a lot of people out here that's trying to be you, Chosen. Yeah, you. It's a lot of people out here that's mad at you, Chosen. Light worker, they mad at you. And you know why they mad at you? Because you are no longer negotiating with who you are and trying to dumb your fucking self down to fit in a box. And understand me, these witches, these warlocks, these masses of gang stalking and shit that only people that are dead spiritually do, because they have no individual source of self and they aren't attached to source. The source that they're attached to is dead. That's why you can look at them and see that they don't have no life in them. They're a parasite looking for a host that they can attach themselves to, so that they can get some life, so that they can get some breath, so that they can get what you have. And you said, you know what? Man, forget all of that. I'm not negotiating with y'all. I'm not dimming my light. Even if I got to go with this shit alone, even if I got to forsake everything, I'm not negotiating with that. Because if I negotiate with it, that means I'm giving it space to say, oh, you may have a right point. No, they don't have a right point. Your past ain't right. Those people that are trying to undermine you, those people that are trying to usurp you and go above you, they are not right. Beloved, On this journey as a chosen one, you know, and if you don't know, you will. If you are beginning this spiritual awakening journey, or if you are in the middle, or if you are further along than some of us, glory to you. Peace and love and light your way. This is not for the weak. Okay, it's a lot of people out here who are negotiating with the enemy. It's a lot of people out here who are dressed as sheep, but they are a wolf, and their teeth is showing. They got knives behind their back when they give you a hug. You ever give somebody a hug and you just feel like something after they hug you, you just be like, yo, what the fuck? Why I feel like something is stuck? That's because they spiritually stuck you with something. They spiritually stabbed you in the back because they see not only your light, but they see that you're no longer negotiating with who they want you to be. Fuck all of that, sis. Fuck all of that, bruh. You said, you know what? Okay, I like the air up here. Okay? Shout out to my man, Kevin Bacon, and the African dude, Jimmy Dolan, Shake and Bake. You know what I'm saying? The air up there. For all of my people that love basketball movies and Disney movies and all of that, that was just a little reference. You know, we got to keep it light here. It's not always heavy, but this is a heavy conversation. You are no longer negotiating with, oh, well, maybe I could try to fit into this mold and maybe they'll like me. Maybe if I do. Nah, you're not negotiating with that, beloved. You said, you know what? I like the air up here. And you're sticking not only your head physically, but spiritually. You saying, okay, I got to get up. This is helping me breathe a little better up here. The air isn't contaminated. It's not filled. The air isn't filled with depression, with grief, with addiction, with self-limiting beliefs. It's not filled with fear. It's not filled with doubt. It's not filled with projection. It's not filled with mirroring. Motherfuckers will mirror you. You come in with that energy and you come in with that bubbly spirit and they want to get close to you because they want to try to siphon it. Oh, that's the quickest way a motherfucker will act like they your friend. Oh, I like to do that too. Oh my God. Meanwhile, they just trying to figure out a way to get in. And once they get in and they see that they got you, like I said, they're a parasite. They're going to attach to the host and begin to feed. That's why you have to have some non-negotiables. Some shit that you can't and won't go back to. Some stuff that you will say, you know what? This is my stance. This is my price and I'm setting it here. And I'm not going back. And even if you lose people, you didn't lose people. You just saw who they really were and they no longer want to hide and they can't go any further with you on the rest of the journey. Come on, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, it may hurt to find out, damn, man, I thought me and her were friends. What's going on, chat? Be the gang chat, my being divinely aligned collective. What's up? Blessings on the midweek. It may hurt to see that you thought you had a friend. It may hurt to see that you thought that they were the one in a relationship, or it may hurt to see that your family really ain't really family. But at the end of the day, once you set your price and you say, man, I'm not negotiating this boundary, I'm not negotiating my worth, oh, you're going to really see people's true colors. And once you see their true colors, believe it. Believe it. Once somebody shows you who they are, believe it. Because 10 times out of 10, the mask ain't slipped. They just showed you who they really were. So follow me, man. When you're being your authentic self and you're vibrating high as a chosen one, as a light worker, you are going to not only attract darkness, you're going to attract curiosity. You're going to attract people that really want to be around you. But you have to make sure that you are discerning the energy and most importantly, covering yourself and saying, okay, what is my non-negotiable? How do I start my day? What is my morning ritual? What am I doing not only to cover myself, but to get myself prepared for this journey of this day that I'm on? Because every day that we are vertical, it is a blessing, and it is something that we're supposed to do, someplace we're supposed to be, something that we're supposed to encounter. And it's up to us to spiritually understand and read the signs and the time to actually fulfill that. Now, there's going to be days where you do that. There's going to be days where you don't. So don't feel bad, but every day that you are vertical, you do need to give the Most High the glory. You're still here for a reason. The universe got more for you. But check me out though. So about negotiate, to talk with others to reach a deal or solve a problem, to successfully travel over or pass a difficult physical obstacle, or legally transfer a financial document like a check to someone. So in the word of God, in the book of Genesis, Abram in chapter 18, he's interceding for Sodom, Sodom and Gomorrah. And it's crazy because he was negotiating with the Lord on behalf of Sodom. Like, yo, you really ain't gonna get rid of all of these people here. There may be some righteous people here. I don't know them all. And I'm paraphrasing and I'm contextualizing this for y'all that don't have a Bible or don't desire to read the Bible. That's fine. To get a relationship with the Most High God, it's not only having understanding of the Bible, but it's having understanding of self and knowing that religion isn't just God. You have to have a relationship. And once you build that fundamental relationship with God, you'll be able to understand not only your purpose, but what you are here for and whose you are and what you're supposed to be doing. And the word of God actually aligns with it. So it's just like something that you can use not only as a manual, but to just affirm and confirm, like, okay, you know what, I'm moving in the right direction, along with other signs. But I say that to say, Abraham interceded. He was negotiating, okay? He was negotiating for Sodom. And if you don't know, Sodom was a very, very, very lustful, wild, turned up place. We just gonna keep it at that. A little bit of everything was going on there. You know what I mean? And Abraham was like, yo, and when I say Abraham, he was like, yo, you know what? We just gonna go there. Chapter 18, verse 22. Then the men turned away from there and went towards Sodom. But Abraham still stood before the Lord. And Abraham came near and said, would you also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there were 50 righteous within the city. Would you also destroy the place and not spare it for the 50 righteous that were in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing as this, to slay the righteous with the wicked, so that the righteous should be as the wicked. Far be it from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? So the Lord said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes. Then Abraham answered and said, Indeed now, who am I but dust and ashes, have taken it upon myself to speak to the Lord. Suppose there were 5 less than the 50 righteous. Would you destroy all the city for lack of 5? So he said, if I find there 45, I will not destroy it. And he spoke to him yet again and said, suppose there should be 40 found there. So he said, I will not do it for the sake of 40. Then he said, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Suppose 30 should be found there. So he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, indeed now, I have taken it upon myself to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 should be found there. So he said, I will not destroy it for the sake of the 20. Then he said, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak but once more. Suppose 10 should be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for the sake of 10. So the Lord went his way as soon as he had finished speaking with Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. So again, where we're at now is we are talking about Abraham negotiating with the Lord. And he basically saying like, yo, Sodom you know what's going on here, but suppose there are some righteous people here. What would you do? Would you let those righteous people perish with the wicked? I know you're not going to do that. You already made the covenant with us after Noah and the flood, and you said you know that men's heart is continually evil, but you will never turn away from us. You will never do this again. And that's where the rainbow came from, the covenant. Okay, cool. So follow me. We about to get back into the commentary. We're just going word right now because I don't want to mess anything up saying that it's me. This is all scripture. This is all the word of God, KJV. So Abraham is interceding and negotiating. And he basically like, man, I'm trying to solve this problem. But the thing is, you can negotiate on somebody else's behalf. Whoo, come on, spirit. But they got to want to change. You can't negotiate on somebody's behalf that don't want to change. That's like an addict who's still using whatever drug they choose, whether it's liquor, sex, any hard drug, any soft drug, whatever drug that's affecting them. You can't negotiate and say, hey, man, if I do this for this person, will you do it? No, that person has to have the desire. That person has to have the fire within to say, you know what? I'm tired of living this fucked up life. I'm tired of not living to the potential that I know I can live and compromising my life for momentary pleasures, but I'm still stuck in a recurring cycle. Come on, man. 10 times out of 10, we negotiating for people who wouldn't negotiate shit for us. And I'm not saying anybody's bad, beloved. But at the end of the day, we judge a fruit by the tree that it's on. That's what it says in the Bible. It says we are not to judge, but look at the tree that a fruit bears. So if somebody is continually bearing a fruit where it's like, I ain't calling them a fuck up, but they continually do things that aren't on the side of them moving in the right way. Whoo, come on. We're not supposed to say, hey, why are you doing this? But we are supposed to be discerning. If it look like a duck, sound like a duck, we know what it is. That's not being rude. That's being aware. That's being discerning. And I believe that's called not casting our pearls to swine. Because if we do, they will turn around and trample on us. I believe that's called you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. I believe that's called self-awareness and not letting motherfuckers pull a wool over your eyes. Hello? Somebody? We can't negotiate for nobody. We have to make the choice for ourselves to say, you know what, man, I refuse to go back to the way that I was living. If I'm living a subpar condition, if I'm living in a way that is not the best for me or conducive to me having the best quality of life. Come on, spirit. This shit ain't a game. We are on this earth for a dash, okay? A dash. And you know what that dash is? Our life. We have a beginning and we have an end, but that dash is all the life that we have. How you gonna live that dash? Are you gonna live that dash in fear? Are you gonna live that dash in anger? Are you gonna live that dash grieving? Are you gonna live that dash with a petty spirit? Are you gonna live that dash with limiting beliefs? Are you gonna live that dash not knowing what you want to do and worrying? Or are you going to live that dash with an intent and say, you know what, come hell or high water, I'm not living beneath what I know the Most High God has for me. And you can believe in whoever you want. Like they say in my NA groups that I used to go to, the God of your understanding, the God of my understanding is the Most High God, Yeshua HaMashiach, the blood of the Lamb, who was on the cross and died for my sins, the propitiation of sin. That's who I believe now. I'm not talking nothing. What up, Tony? Blessings, my sis. Good to see you. Happy Wednesday, love. I know the enemy fighting, but we got to keep going. We talking about negotiate. I'm in the book of Genesis, chapter 18, verse 22 to 33. And we are talking about basically negotiation. Abraham was negotiating on behalf of Sodom, but we know We could negotiate for people all we want. Like I just said, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make the motherfucker drink. You could show somebody how to save money, but if they choose to blow it, that's on them. Basically, you negotiating for people puts you at risk. And if you continually keep doing that, you're showing that you don't value yourself. You're showing that, hey, you know what? I don't mind being a liability because I'm taking on something that's not mine. And we're not supposed to do that. Yes, it says in the word of God, we're supposed to love the Lord our God with all our heart, all our soul, and all our mind. And the second one is the greatest commandment. We're supposed to love our neighbor as ourselves. But hold on. The caveat of that is if you don't know how to love yourself, you can't love nobody else. So what I look like saying, hey man, I love John, I love Jacob, I love Ashley, and I love Jane, and I don't know how to properly love me. People will see that you know how to properly love yourself by what you don't allow, by what boundaries you set, by the way you handle yourself when you know people is fucking with your top, playing with your time. And then you can move accordingly, but you cannot do anything and make nobody see something that they don't want to see. So what you have to do is you have to make the negotiation and say, you know what? As much as I love so-and-so, as much as I care about so-and-so, I got to do what's best for me. That's not being selfish. That's called being wise. That's called self-preservation. Okay? That's called self-preservation. And at the end of the day, what they say when you on a plane, before you look to put the mask on somebody else, put the mask on your mouth first, beloved. But you see, back to the word of God, Abraham was such a righteous man, the father of many nations. He was like, man, I don't want Sodom to be and go down because there may be some people there that still need to be saved. But you know what they say? Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. I want to be saved. She's a very freaky girl. Don't bring her to mama. And that applies to my divine feminines and my divine masculines. Motherfuckers don't want to be saved. And you cannot negotiate with somebody that don't want to be saved. But see, when you're being your authentic self, motherfuckers would love to dim your light, chosen. So you got to be careful what you attach yourself to, what you allow, because somebody who's not cool with being their authentic self, there it is. Thank you, Spirit. Whoever is not cool and okay with being their authentic self, they don't have no boundaries. They willing to negotiate for whatever. They'll take a little bit of this, they'll take a little bit of that because they don't know who they are. But when you understand and know who you are and whose you are, and you know that not only you have the full universe behind you, backing you up when you show up as who you are, when you show up as him, when you show up as her, oh baby, the universe got to pay you back. And when I say pay you back, it has to give you what you attract. That's why they say you attract what you are. Yeah. That's why some of these people are still in these motherfucking karmic cycles. They didn't learn. Okay, you may have a different body, but it's the same spirit. That Jezebel spirit, that Python spirit, that familiar spirit, that monitoring spirit. But once you learn the lesson, beloved, you will be able to go to the next level. Motherfuckers ain't on nothing. And when I say motherfuckers, I'm talking about whoever ain't on being authentically themselves. Because when you authentically yourself, you don't mind being alone. I've been on this spiritual journey for a couple of years now, by the grace of God. And the number one thing that I've learned is I like being alone. I do. Because motherfuckers is faker than a $2 bill, beloved. I done been betrayed. I done been stolen from. I done been robbed. I done been lied on. You name it, it's happened. But you know what? It was all part of me growing. And it's been all part of me understanding, okay, cool. These things happen because you wasn't aware. And you negotiated with people who really you didn't have to negotiate with, because whatever you want, you can go ask your father. What it say? Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. All I got to do is just go ask him and then believe that what I ask for, I will have. But you see, when you align yourself with people who don't mean you well, and you just say, hey, I'm just aligning myself with whatever, that's what you're going to get. The universe is going to keep giving you that same shit. So do not be surprised when you like, damn, I thought I got rid of Trevor. Okay, you with Stanley, but it's that same person, that same spirit. Because you hadn't made a non-negotiable. You haven't set a boundary and said, okay, it's some shit that I'm not doing. It's some stuff that I'm not gonna do anymore. It's some places that I won't go. It's some people that I have to cut off. Even if it's family, beloved. Because at the end of the day, sometimes family, not sometimes, family will do you worse than the people in the street. Man, I done met strangers. Man, I had one dude, I'm gonna tell you this. And this is honest to God's truth. I had one dude, I had just came out of, where I was staying at. And by the grace of God, they asked for some directions and I showed them where they were going. Whoo! Showed them where they were going. Just for me showing him where he was going, and I actually walked with them there. The man gave me $100. And I'm only telling you this by the grace of God. I'm not making this shit up. The man gave me $100. Not to mention he was white. Not to mention he was with his wife. Not to mention he had two daughters. They going to an event. I showed them where they were going. Not only did the man give me the $100, I needed that money. Okay? That money had put me in a position to where it was like, oh, okay. But that's because I had made a choice. I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to align myself and do what I think and what I know the Most High God is calling me to do. And the universe rewarded me for it. Right then and there. Karma is real. What you put out, my intent wasn't to do nothing wrong. My intent wasn't to go out and mislead this man. Have his family someplace to where they getting hurt. Motherfuckers out here will have you up the creek without paddles. And then wait till you motherfucking drown and be like, oh, well, they shouldn't have been over there. What? But that's why you got to have non-negotiables. And we gonna get back to this word, but you have to be authentically who you are. And back to what I said about that family shit, man, you talk about you love Scandal, you love all of these shows that talk about murder, have sex and all of this crime and fight. The Bible has all of that shit. Excuse my French, Lord. It has all of that. We gonna go to, I believe it is Micah 7. Because I want to talk about that family thing, man. And I'm not talking no lies. I'm talking facts, straight truths. Straight truths. Let me pull this out real fast. Let me find it. And again, I'm in the KJV. Whatever model or version you have, cool. I'm going to do a little shameless plug. Download the Bible app by YouVersion. It's a great app. I utilize it as much as I can on my phone, but it's nothing like having a real word, something that you touch, something that you can see. So we gonna go right here in the book of Micah, back to that family thing, how strangers will do you better than your family. This is real. And God bless them that gave me that, because they sowed a seed in me that they didn't even know was helping me eat. To God be the glory. So we are in Micah chapter 7, verse 5. It reads, do not trust in a friend. Do not put your confidence in a companion. Guard the doors of your mouth from her who lies in your bosom. For son dishonors father, daughter rises against her mother, daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And this is the part that tripped me out, y'all. A man's enemies are the men of his own household. Again, a man's enemies are the men of his own household. I didn't make this up. Okay? This is what's written. How many times you see families when somebody unfortunately passes away, everybody cool. But when somebody pass away, you got this side against that side against that side. Oh, I never liked you anyway. You was only there for this. It gets crazy. And that's only talking about when somebody transitions off of this planet. You got people that'll fall out with their family over the smallest of things because that jealous spirit. Because when somebody is walking authentically in their calling and being unapologetically who the Most High Divine called them to be, oh, you're going to have some haters. And you know what a hater is? Having anger toward anyone reaching success. Having anger toward everyone reaching success. So because they don't want to get up off of their ass and actually apply themselves and figure out what's going on with them, they rather hate and rain on your parade. Like, what? Where do that make sense? So you mad at me because I'm trying to be a better person. You're mad at me because I'm working on my temper. You're mad at me because I'm actually working on this diet. You're mad at me because I'm not only just saying, oh, I'm going to go to church, but I'm actually seeking to change my inside. Because you can go to church all the fuck you want and not change one bit. It's some motherfucking brood of vipers in church that's so motherfucking venomous that they gonna sting you. I hope that don't go over your head. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying it's real. The illusions out there are real. When you're authentically comfortable and okay with who you are, you don't gotta negotiate. You will set your price and you will leave it there. And those that want to meet it, those that are for you, your soul tribe, those strangers, those people that are around, they don't have a problem meeting it. And you won't have to coerce nobody. You won't have to persuade nobody. You won't have to negotiate for nobody to be like, yo, well, you know, if I do this, and you'll come here. No, you don't got to do all of that. Because at the end of the day, if you got to keep doing that, they don't really want to fucking do it. And life is too short to be dragging people along. I'm not dragging a motherfucker along, yo. And that's on my soul. Only thing I'm dragging along is whatever I'm carrying to the next destination that God got me going to, whenever that is. Shit. You know how many bags I was carrying? The bag of anxiety, the bag of unforgiveness, the bag of fear, the bag of tiredness, exhaustion, the bag of sexual immorality, the bag of the lust of the flesh, the bag of the lust of the eyes, the bag of the pride of life, the bag of the poverty mindset. Man, come on, yo. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Shout out to my man Carl Weathers, aka Apollo Creed. That scene in Rocky is so pivotal. So pivotal. If you don't know what I'm talking about, type in YouTube after this. There is no tomorrow. Okay? Carl Weathers is in a ring training with Rocky, and Rocky's wife is there, and it's such a telling scene, yo. Because Carl Weathers wanted it more at that point than Rocky did. And that's the thing. This ain't just about faith. This ain't just about, no, this is about our motherfucking life. And some motherfuckers is cool with not living. And when I say not living, not just being unalived, I'm talking about not living to the best that they can. It's some people that checked out mentally because of the shit that they've been through. And that's why I'm talking to y'all, my Being Divinely Aligned Collective, with such tenacity, with such enthusiasm. Because if you tuned in and you really understand what I'm saying, despite everything that you went through, whether it was self-imposed or something that happened to you, you chose to make some non-negotiables and keep going. So I salute you. I salute you. But Apollo said to Rocky, there is no tomorrow. And Rocky like, let's do it tomorrow. The fuck? You can't make somebody do something that they don't want to do. And because people see you being authentically you, that make them mad because they like, well, why they got the light? Motherfucker, I got the light because I'm actually putting in the work. You don't know how much shadow work I had to do to just get right here? And I love my shadow side. Shout out to people that are okay with their shadow side. We talking heavy tonight. We talking heavy tonight. Yeah, I still love beautiful, curvaceous women. Yeah, I still like to, be rubbed on and get attention. But is that happening now? No, I'm okay with it. That doesn't mean that I still don't desire it. But the thing about it is I'm desiring it now because I've accepted Okay, I understand the purpose of a thing. When you don't understand the purpose of something, you'll abuse it. So yeah, I was abusing my body because I was introduced to sex in a warped way. So my whole foundation of what sex was just extremely primitive. But now that I know what it's for, it's not just for me to feel good, it's for creation. I'm supposed to leave something behind. Yeah, I want to feel good. I want to crack something. Yeah, I want to make money. Yeah, I want to live a good life. All of these things are good. Yeah, I want to travel. Yeah, I want to have influence in all of these things. But when you don't understand something, you will abuse it. And that's the thing. When you understand what something is used for, you'll treat it properly. I'm glad that I had to go through those seasons and fight with my shadow, because now that I know who my shadow is, I know how low and how fucked up I could be. Now, does that mean I want to go back there? No, but I have to be in tune with that side to actually appreciate the good side. I can't appreciate a good day if I didn't know what a bad day was. Come on. How are you going to appreciate a blessing if you never had seasons where you felt like, I'm not getting nothing? No, you have to go through it. And that's a non-negotiable. You think every day as a believer working in the light, you are going to have everything go your way? No. Again, even Jesus got tired. I said that in the last live, the one before that, in the Garden of Gethsemane. What did he say? Father, if it be thy will, pass this bitter cup. That basically is him saying, man, I'm tired. What Young Thug's daughter said? Man, I'm motherfucking tired. He was tired. But you know what? He pressed on. I'm proud of you guys for pressing on. I'm proud of you guys for pressing on. I'm proud of y'all for pressing on. But at the end of the day, you being authentically who you are, you have to stand in that, and you cannot make no non-negotiables. So if you know you're being set up in a way to where, and when I say set up, you're setting your life up in a way to say, okay, I know that I'm an alcoholic, and most of the friends that I have, they only like to go out and drink. You know what you need to do. The negotiation, the non-negotiable needs to be, okay, I gotta let them know, hey, I'm not gonna be able to chill with y'all. And if you can't vocalize that, then you just need to go cold turkey and cut them motherfuckers off. You fill in the blank, whatever it is. But you need to set up something in play to where you can move forward, because everybody ain't happy that you're moving forward. And that's where we gonna go back to the word of God. Everybody ain't happy that you moving forward. There are some people who are so, what's the word? Enchanted, so drunk off of where they were that they don't want to move. You ever hear somebody talk, man, back in the day, I used to do this. Back in the day is old. What about today? What you doing today? I don't want to hear none of your old pimp stories, man, or, sis, I don't want to hear, because, I used to look like that. No, what do you look like now? What are you doing now? What's your mind like now? And that's the thing. You see, because those that really want to change, when you negotiate and say, look, I'm not going to go back, and you set your price there, people are either going to have to meet it or they're not. Okay, the next step is you'll see who falls off. And once you see who falls off, you know that you're moving forward in the right direction. Now, it may be lonely, but I'd rather be lonely than in the same time space, in the same time zone, in the same karmic cycles that ain't paying me no dividends. The universe is only giving you what you are attracting. So if you're in that same circle, that's what's coming to you, because that's what you accepting. You're basically telling the universe, I don't think I'm worth more. I'd rather stay here. And that's what happened in the book of Genesis 18, verse 22 to 33. And we gonna flip it right over here, because this is the crazy part. It says it in Luke 17:32. But remember Lot's wife. That's the second shortest verse in the Bible besides Jesus wept. 2 words. That's the first shortest verse in the Bible, Jesus wept. But the second shortest verse is remember Lot's wife. And you know why we got to remember Lot's wife? Because what did the angel of the Lord tell them when they were removing them from Sodom and Gomorrah? It said in verse 19, verse 17, so it came to pass when they had brought them outside that he said, escape for your life. Do not look behind you nor stay anywhere in the plain. Escape to the mountains lest you be destroyed. I'm going to read that again because it's getting real. Genesis 19, verse 17. So it came to pass when they had brought them outside that he said, escape for your life. Do not look behind you nor stay anywhere in the plain. Escape to the mountains lest you be destroyed. So basically, what happened? Verse 26. But his wife looked back behind him and she became a pillar of salt. Jeez. Now Lot did all this negotiating, right? If you find 50, if you find 45, if you find 40, if you find 30, if you find 25, if you find 20, if you find 10 righteous people, you won't destroy it. You see, he was negotiating for people that weren't willing to negotiate for themselves. Come on, Spirit. How you co-signing for somebody that won't show up for themselves? I'm not fucking a motherfucker ain't gonna get no co-sign from me. No, sir. You gonna have to show and prove that what you're about, that you really about. The same way I know people expect the same thing from me. You're not going to just get a cosign from somebody, because nowadays you cosign for somebody and say, oh yeah, there it is. And you intercede on their behalf and make a negotiation, and they'll leave you in the dust and have you looking crazy out here. I didn't seen it. It didn't happen to me. And I'm only just passing on game. Spirit just want me to pass on game. That's all I'm doing. Because I know my chosen people out there is going through a lot. Why? Because we're empaths. We want to help everybody. We want to see everybody win. But do everybody want to see themselves win? I ain't gonna even answer that, because you already know the answer to that. If you on this live, shout out to y'all, my Be a Gang, Being Divinely Aligned Collective. You already know the answer to that. Motherfuckers don't want to see themselves win as much as they talk about it. They rather talk about you and about your progress than really look at themselves and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I could do that too. Maybe I don't need to be hating. I don't need to be spiteful. I don't need to be petty. Let me do my shadow work. Let me figure out why someone else's success triggers me. Let me figure out those childhood issues that I haven't really come to terms with, that I've been numbing with alcohol, with drugs. This person cheated on me. This person, essayed me. This person betrayed me. Whatever it is, you didn't get over it. Because if you did, someone else living in their authentic truth wouldn't trigger you as much. But because somebody else has the balls, has the moxie to say, you know what, yeah, that happened to me, but I'm gonna face it. I'm gonna accept it for what it is and realize that that's not the end of me. And you know what? Move forward. I'm going to forgive. I'm going to heal. I'm going to set boundaries. And I'm not going to negotiate with my past when it comes to knock on the door and try to offer me something that I know I'm not going to live with. I know is beneath me and I know ain't good for me. Go on your way and send it on its way. No harm, no foul, just true facts. You don't got to be rude. You can set your boundaries with tact, and most importantly, do it with love. Having a boundary ain't bad. Motherfuckers would love to make you feel bad for saying, oh, well, you forgave me, but you ain't let me around you. Hell no. I know what you did. I know what you're capable of. And at the end of the day, just because I forgave you don't mean I'm going to be stupid. What's that story of the snake? This man was walking down the road and seen an injured snake, right? He had to be a chosen one. Because I know I'm not picking up no fucking snake on no side of the road, but hey, we may pick up snakes in physical form. I hope that don't go over your head. You may pick up a relationship that you feel like you could save her or him. You may feel like you go to a job where if you be a people pleaser, that they'll like you more and you'll get, come on now, we talking now. But the man walking down the road, and what happened? He see an injured snake. The man picked the injured snake up, right? And what happened? He take the snake home, heal the snake up, got the snake feeling good, and, got it back to health. Well, one day the man was going to feed the snake, and the snake hauled off and struck him. And the man said, Joe, why did you strike me? I saved you. I brought you home, and I took care of you. I got you back in, your glow. The snake had the motherfucking audacity, but the true part of the snake was a snake through and through. The snake said, you knew what I was when you brought me. Negotiating. And that's the thing. You can be empathetic. You can help somebody, but motherfucker, don't do it at a deficit to you. The snake said, you knew what I was. And so many times we know what people are. And that's why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, because he knew what it was. It wasn't just about Abraham saying, I'm interceding. Abraham was trying to be that empathetic person that picked the snake up. Like, man, they're not as bad as what they seem. No, they were that bad. The proof was in the pudding. Literally and metaphorically speaking. And I'm not demonizing nobody. Because do I feel that anybody is unable to be redeemed? No. But am I the most high to judge that? No. I'm glad that that's above my pay grade. What they say, it's above me now. Shout out to that viral video where the girl was in the store and she was like, excuse me, could you record me right quick? And she went up to the old lady, and the old lady, and that shit still got, I'll be watching it from time to time. Go check it out. Type in, can you record me right quick? I love to laugh. You got to laugh on this journey. But she said, can you record me right quick? And a black lady was like, get somebody else to do it. She said, it's somebody over here. It's somebody over here. You got to get somebody else to save them. You don't got to be the one to save them. Because as we see here, and I hope I'm making this shit crystal clear. As we see here, Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed because they didn't want to change. God had gave them ample enough time to change. Not only is he merciful, not only is he forgiving, but he is long-suffering. You know what long-suffering means? It says in the word of God, 1,000 days is the same as one day, and as one day is 1,000 days. That means God sits out of time because he's omnipotent, he's omniscient, and he's omnipresent. He don't go by what we do. He sits outside of it. He knows the beginning and the end. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the creator of all creation. Do your homework on my man. He is him. He's Himothy. But you see, the people in Sodom and Gomorrah didn't even care that that Abraham was interceding and trying to make a negotiation on their behalf. Abraham had already walked into his blessing even after fumbling it, with him forcing his hand with Hagar and his wife Sarah, who was now Sarah. Abraham had really reconciled and been like, okay, cool, I can't do this my way. I got to do this God's way. And even with him still doing it God's way, he still got that empathetic chosen heart that we all have. And what I'm saying is, don't let that shit come and be your demise. Because it almost was. And the point that I want to drive home before I hop off of here, what happened to Lot's wife? Lot's wife didn't even care that Abraham had interceded and made a negotiation on their half to say, yo, I did this and the angel of the Lord said he's saving us. It says it right here in Genesis 19 verse 17. So it came to pass When they had brought them outside, that he said, escape for your life. Do not look behind you, nor stay anywhere in the plain. Escape to the mountains, lest you be destroyed. But you see, Lot's wife, she partially wanted to go. It's people that partially want to change. You authentically walking in your glow. You did your shadow work, or you're doing your shadow work. You're facing those demons, and you're not using anything to anesthetize the pain and numb the pain. You saying, hey, you know what? If I got to go to treatment to get this shit fixed, I'm going to go to treatment. If I got to go to cold turkey for those people that got to go cold turkey, I'm going to do it. But you see, it's motherfuckers out there that play the fence. And motherfuckers that play the fence, you know where they stand. Because it says, for let a man be hot or cold. For if he is lukewarm, what is the word going to do? It's going to spit you out. You can't play the fence. You either on God's team or you not. You either part of the light coalition or you not. It is no in between. Did you see the movie The Matrix? Was those agents in between that was trying to get rid of Neo? No, they was at that nigga's neck. They wasn't saying, oh man, okay, maybe Neo's not a bad guy. No, they wanted to fucking off him. The same way the enemy want to do to us. I'd rather a real enemy than a fake friend. I don't need nobody that's telling me, oh, I'm gonna partially get my life together. Fuck that. You tell that shit to yourself. I'm worried about me, and anybody else that's moving forward needs to worry about themselves. Now, I'm not saying you can't take time to help, to uplift, to show love, because that's what we're gonna do. That's a byproduct of us. As it says in Psalm 23, my cup overflows, right? Okay, cool. That's what they'll get. They'll get the overflow. You ain't supposed to just give. And whoever's getting the overflow, they're getting it because they're paying attention and realizing, whoa, this person has something of substance that I need, and I'm going to glean from it. Shout out to Ruth that was in the field. She was getting the overflow from those that were in the field. The overflow. You don't got to give to people. Let them get the overflow. And if you do give to people, give to somebody that you know is actually appreciative of what you're giving them. Lot's wife wasn't appreciative of what Abraham had fucking negotiated. Excuse my French. We getting hot in here. No Nelly. Shout out to the dirty though. I'm serious. Lot's wife wasn't appreciative of what Abraham negotiated, because if she was, she wouldn't have looked back. And you know why she looked back? Because she wasn't fully decided. Anybody that's fully decided, okay, they're not negotiating with shit that don't align up with them. Now, they may make some negotiations and be flexible in the future, but it's not going to be anything that's going to pull them back and pull them into a place of where they don't want to be. Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt because she hadn't made the decision to say, you know what, I'm turning away from this life of sin. And whatever that means to you, hey, you know the shit that you need to stop doing. I can't tell you that. Only the Most High and you know. And it's not for me to judge you. That's on you, beloved. But as somebody told me, shout out to him, that's your life. You got to deal with that. Because at the end of the day, we are not called to be a martyr for anybody. We are called to love our neighbors as ourselves, but you can't love nobody else effectively if you don't know who you are. And if you're walking authentically in who you are, you ain't gonna be making negotiations for people just willy-nilly. Again, Abraham made that negotiation and said, man, save this people. Come on, God, don't do it. And what happened? He destroyed the whole place. And even had to make an example out of Lot's wife because she still was so entranced. Was so, I love it here. Really? Cool. You a pillar of salt. Boom, you gone. Nah. We're not making no negotiations, man. We're not negotiating with our past. We're not negotiating with low vibrational people. We're not negotiating with familiar spirits. We're not negotiating with people who we know mean us no well. It's time for you to not only remove the veil, because the veil is up. You got to choose to see it. And if you choose not to see it, then that may be you turning into that pillar of salt. And at the end of the day, you can't blame nobody but yourself. Lot's wife can't blame nobody but Lot's wife. That's not Lot's fault, because Lot is what? He still was living. Lot didn't look back. His wife did. She the one that was like, I just got to take one more drink. Let me get one more hit. Let me call her one more time. Let me speak to him one more time. Let me just go back. Maybe there's something. No, there ain't shit you can do. There is nothing you can do. If they don't want to do it, move on. Move on. Did Lot look back? I don't see nowhere in here where it said Lot looked back. I'm going to finish reading it. Chapter 19 of Genesis. Abraham went early in the morning to the place where he had stood before the Lord. Then he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward the land of the plain, and he saw and behold the smoke of the land, which went up like the smoke of a furnace. And when it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, which he had overthrown the cities in which Lot had dwelt. Come on now. This ain't no game. You go ahead and indulge in that extramarital affair, or you indulge in that lifestyle that you know isn't conducive to the way the Most High would want you to have. You go ahead and say, you know, I'm gonna take one more shot. You go ahead and say, you know what, man, I'm gonna get sober tomorrow, but I'm going to buy a pack. And you go buy a pack and inject or snort or do whatever it is you do, and that's your last fucking time. And they finding you in wherever you are, and you like, damn, all of that for that? That's all it was worth? Your life is worth a hit? That's all your life is worth? Your life is only worth a sexual encounter? Your life is only worth a paycheck? Your life is only worth being demeaned and demoralized in places and things where people don't value you? That's all you worth? No, there has to be some non-negotiables. And at the end of the day, can't nobody make that decision but you. If you are walking in your authenticity, light workers, I love you. For my people that aren't awake but that want help, it's avenues out here to get help. You got therapists, you got mentors, you got life coaches, you got things that can align with who you are. There's somebody for everybody out here to help somebody, but just make sure you do your homework and allow spirit to lead you, because it's wolves in sheep clothing that prey on people that are broken. You think every church is a healed church? There's churches that people go to where the pastor is preying on your brokenness. I ain't making this shit up. Man, look, the book of Eli is the main point of that. What happened with Carnegie and Denzel Washington's character? Denzel was carrying a book, but we didn't know, and I'm not going to spoil it, what Denzel's ailment was. But he was walking by faith, not by sight. I hope that don't go over your head. He was the true personification of using the word of God for what it's for. But what did Carnegie want it for? To control, to put people in that python grip, to use, to misuse. And what happened? Yeah, Carnegie finally got the Bible. And what happened? Motherfucker couldn't even use it. Couldn't even use it. My God. Couldn't even use it. You got what you wanted so bad that you got it and you can't do shit with it. Why? Because that's the way God made it up. Because you wasn't using it for what it was supposed to be used for. You was going to use it to just control, to abuse, to keep people in bondage. Be careful of people who love you when you are not who God called you to be. Be careful of people who are only around you when your light is dim, because it doesn't shine on them and make them feel like, damn, I could change. No, you need to be authentically who you are. And if your light is offended somebody, keep shining that shit. You may be the only person that cares. And when I say that cares, that light that's shining on them, they may not even know that that's their lifeline. They may be saying, well, if God is real, he gonna show me a sign. No, that sign of that person whose light is shining, that's the proof that no, God is real, because he's shining and showing you, hey, you know what? No, it is real. It is real. You can change. You can move forward, because look at this person over there. You know what they've been through. You know how they used to be. And look, now they're in the light. And because they're in the light, it's possible. But no, they don't want to do it as much as they say. Be careful of people who like when you are at a disadvantage. And when I mean at a disadvantage, I mean spiritually. Who like to see you not operating at the level that you need to operate, not using the discernment that you need to use, not moving in the militant but holy, sanctified way that you need to. You know what I noticed on this journey? People love when I fall back into areas and places that mean me no well, because their light or lack thereof light shines darker. Understand what I'm saying? The shadows shine darker. Be careful of people who love when you doubt yourself. Be careful of people who love when you don't show up for yourself. When you like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And they like, yeah, do it tomorrow. Be careful of people like that. Be careful of people who love when you're easily manipulated, who want to see you not only doubt yourself, but encourage them in the fuckery and bullshit that they got going on. What? Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We are not doing that at all. By no stretch of the imagination am I encouraging no fuck shit. Because I wouldn't want nobody to encourage no fuck shit in me. An open rebuke is better than a kiss from an enemy. I'd rather have somebody be like, hey, yo, man to man, bro, get your shit together. Pull me to the side. Or if it's that blatantly fucked up, hey, look, bro, you out of pocket. But be careful of people who see you falling and sliding, and they just, hey, it is what it is, because those are the motherfuckers that are benefiting off of you there. It's people who know you should have been further than you are, but they love the version of you that keeps them comfortable, because they know they should be further than they are, but they stop giving up. And life is real. When life start hitting, it's some people who don't want to hit back. They just want to run and hide and say, fuck it, this how it's going to be. And they get jaded and they give up. But to my beta gang, my being divinely aligned collective, we ain't giving up. No, we may have days where we tired. We may have days where we take our hits. But you know what? We alchemize that shit and we turn it into gold, because we know that God ain't going to leave us or forsake us. What did he say in Joshua 1:5? What did he say? Let me tell you. No man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, I shall be with you. I will never leave you or forsake you. Go read it. You see, you got to affirm these things on those moments where the enemy is coming at you, because he coming. And especially if you have something of value, and if you understanding what I'm saying, you know you valuable. Oh, he coming at you tooth and nail, because he do not want light to overpower his dark kingdom. So he gonna do whatever it is. He gonna send honey traps. He gonna send distractions. He gonna send Jerome for my ladies. He gonna send Sheila for my fellas. He gonna send whatever he gotta send to get you to fall back. But nah, we ain't doing that. So if you're being authentically who you are, I salute you. If you haven't awoken and you want to, seek proper help. Don't give up. Because that's what he wants you to do. He wants you to give up. He wants you to think it's no way out. No, there is a way out. Repent. I'ma always say this. Romans 5:8. But God demonstrated his love toward us while we were yet still sinners. Christ died for us. That motherfucker ain't died for me when I was doing everything right. Christ died for me in the crack house. He died for me when I was watching porn. He died for me when I fucked up. He didn't die for me because I was perfect, because I'll never be perfect. And that's the thing. We ain't never gonna be perfect. But can we progress? Yes. And the choice to progress is a choice. And you don't gotta negotiate with nobody for them to progress. Because if you are, you gonna be like Abraham, and you see what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. All that negotiating, and what happened? Fuck negotiating. Negotiate with yourself about what you're not going to do. Negotiate with yourself where you want to go. Set a plan in place. Set some goals. Forgive yourself. Heal. Forgive them. Set some boundaries and get after it. Like I said earlier, we live in a dash. We born and we die, but that dash is where we live. So make for damn sure when you living in that dash, you make it count. Ain't nobody unredeemable. What dude said on the cross with Yeshua HaMashiach, he said, is there a place for me? And I'm paraphrasing it. He said, he said, no, yeah, you saved. Even on the cross. Even on the cross. The thief was like, man, can I be? Yes, you can be saved too. You ain't never gone too far to get saved. The question is, do you want to be saved? It can't nobody negotiate for you. You got to make that choice. Beloved, I love y'all, man. I appreciate the chat. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is just spirit leading. And we got to continually move forward. We got to not only encourage each other, but we have to know self. And once you know yourself, you know what you're going to do and what you won't do, because you know there's some shit that you just can't go back to because you've come too far. So yeah, you may struggle still. And that's the point. It's going to keep you on your knees praying to the Most High, and it's going to keep you from allowing the universe to keep sending that shit that you claim you don't want back in your life. Oh yeah, the universe listens, but it listens to how you show up. So if you claiming you want change and you doing the same shit, the universe ain't hearing you. The universe ain't hearing you. It's watching you. I love y'all, man. Don't be like Lot's wife. And don't be like people who claim they want to change, but you got to pull them. Anybody that wants to change, they going to take the steps to do it. Now you can intercede and pray intercessory prayer. Yes. We are called to devote ourselves to prayer, being watchful and thankful. Colossians, I believe, 4:2. Devote yourselves to prayer, being watchful and thankful. Yes, we're supposed to intercede on behalf of our brothers. And once we get well, restore our brothers. But how you trying to restore somebody and you ain't well? How you saying, man, I'm going to go, tell my homeboy about going to clubs and having one night stands, and you 1 minute sober? And you just finished getting out the mud of some proverbial cootie cat. No, get yourself together, build up your immunity, put some non-negotiables, fast, pray, set some distance in between. And then if God wants to use you in that way, pray about it, go back. But I'm not telling nobody to go back to nowhere that they came out of. That's foolish. Can a man take fire in his lap and not get burned? No. I ain't gonna even fool with that shit. And don't look back. Be okay with being authentic. And if that causes you to be alone in this season, it's worth it. Because whatever is coming next is gonna be aligned with you. Whatever is being cut off and purified off ain't meant to go. I love you too. I'm praying for y'all too. I appreciate y'all. But y'all gotta appreciate yourselves. And I mean that. Fight back. The enemy ain't gonna fight fair. But I got a secret for you. We win in the end. But the only way you win in the end is if you continue. This is a marathon, it ain't a sprint. So get your endurance up. What it say? We are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses. Let us throw off every weight and sin that so easily ensnares us, so that we may run with what? Endurance for the race that is set before us. You got to throw off of that stuff. Throw it off so that you can run with endurance the race that is set before you. I love y'all, man. I'm praying for y'all. If you ain't saved, you can get saved. You are never not able to get saved. You are redeemable. God sees you, he hears you, he loves you, but you just got to want it. And I'm sorry, as much as Abraham made that negotiation and negotiated for them people, they didn't want it. So some people you're going to have to let fall by the wayside. God got them just like he had you, and just like he has you. He got them. Ain't nobody sneak on this earth. Everybody that's on this earth came through, and God is aware. So you moving forward and you think, oh, they're not going to be, no, they're going to be all right. God got them. I love you, man. I love y'all. By the grace of God, whenever the Spirit has me go live, I go live. This is not something that I'm playing with. I appreciate you, my sister. I appreciate you. Whenever the Spirit has me going, I go, but I'm not on here to not just get, likes and views. Those things are nice and it helps push the agenda in the algorithm. But he is the architect. I'm just a vessel that's implementing and building it. It's his blueprint. I want to follow his plan. So right now we're just getting stuff set, but we have to have a plan. So as he gives me more of the plan, it'll get fundamentally stable. And for now, this is what it is. It's stable and it's moving. But as God gives me more downloads and I continually work with the Most High and I show up and the universe shows me where I need to be and how to get there, I will be on here. But I'm not on here just to be running my mouth. I'm on here because I know somebody need to hear it, even if it's one person. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you. By the grace of God, I do. And I thank y'all for tuning in and tapping with me. And whoever heard this, whoever received it, make sure you share, make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe to this content if it's filling you. Because I'm full. I just ate. I know what I gotta do. I can't look back. And wherever God say to go, I have to go. I have to be obedient. Even if that means leaving certain people, places, and things and not looking back. Appreciate the prayer. Appreciate you PRAYing for me instead of PREYing on me. People will say, oh, I'm praying for you, but they praying on you, not praying for you. PRAY for me, don't PREY for me. And I love y'all. I love y'all. I'm sending love and light your way. I pray that the Most High not only aligns everything that you need, but gives you the desires of your heart. And most importantly, I pray that you continually fight the good fight of faith, because it's hard out here, especially if you're awoke. It's harder because now you see what's going on and you can get easily turned off. But don't get jaded. People's lights will get cut on because at one moment we was just like them. I was just like that. I'm telling the truth. My shit don't stink. My shit smell. I ain't all high and mighty. No, I am a mess, but God is turning this mess into a masterpiece. And I'm just here to show you that it's possible. So yes, keep going, keep growing. I'm not moving in pride. I'm moving in humility over pride every day. That's my hope. That's the acronym that I use hope for. Humility over pride every day. That's my hope. So I hope and pray that you guys are moving in authority and power, but not moving and negotiating for other people who wouldn't negotiate for you. and let your light shine. Y'all have a blessed evening. God bless y'all. Enjoy the rest of this week. If you ain't seen the Book of Eli, go check it out. Okay? Definitely go check it out. It's a great movie. Denzel Washington and I believe Gary Olds or something like that is in it. That's Carnegie's character. Check it out. But we signing off right now. Y'all have a great one. I love y'all. Be blessed. Check out the content on there. It's videos in there that are, talking about not just spiritual things, but talking about relationship. There may be some of those things that you identify with that you can see. Share those and like those, and get with the architect. He is the architect. Are you ready for your blueprint? I love y'all, man. Blessings to you too, sis Tony. God bless you. Blessings to you. Have a great night. Sending love and light y'all way. Thank you so much. And we out.